bitches? What's up? Wake up. It's the morning time. What's up, bitches? What's up? Wake up. It's the morning time.
What's up? Wake up. It's the morning time. How are we doing, everybody? What is going on? Brian, Profit in the house today. First commenter earns his first 10,000 points. Good for absolutely nothing and absolutely everything. How are you doing today, sir? Um, Pretty wild. The list of people that have earned their 10K points. It's pretty crazy. I'm in a really good mood today, rocking the Kesha or Kasha on a scale of 10, pushing 11. This guy. Love it. Good morning, David. How are you doing? What? Why? Why? Tell me why. What's going on? Why are you so high up on the scale? I'm feeling pretty good too. Profit's an 8.135. Solid. Solid. Solid number for early morning. Just woke up, getting them, getting his body moving and pumping and flowing. He might just be still shirtless in bed, actually. We don't know. I had I was going to say amazing. I don't know if it was amazing. It was a really good day yesterday. I think starting my day off speaking face to face with IJ Rob, it just puts you in a good mood. Like when you just get to have one of those conversations really early in the morning. And yeah, it was all uphill from there. Work was flowing well. Jumped on a call with Brofit. I was waiting for an inspector, and I was like, I already did enough work tasks for the morning. Let's uh let's uh let's scroll the old messages and start deleting some old stale messages that I didn't need anymore. And I mostly mean like those messages you get where it's like, to verify your account, Google has sent you a 5 digit code. And then I'm scrolling through to look for those and I see Brofit and I'm like, oh, and I just hit the call button. Dude picked up. We talked for, what was it, like 45 minutes or something like that? Good conversation. Again, you have a conversation in the morning, you have a conversation in the middle of the day, you're flying, especially with some V friends people. So thank you, Brian, for picking up the phone. Thank you for entertaining me. And then also, it was quite comical because halfway through the call, we realized that there was someone eavesdropping on our phone call. I guess his wife was listening in and she was just audibly laughing in the background at the stuff we were talking about and discussing. I don't remember exactly what the catalyst was for her like audible laugh. To you, Brian? But it was fun. Um, on that phone call, I was driving to my cabinet shop, so I finally dropped off these parts. I don't know if I told you guys, but I ordered these two like reclining lounge chairs for out by the pool, and one of them came perfect, and I assembled it, and it was for my wife's birthday, so back in July, and the other one came missing a bunch of parts. So we emailed the company in Amazon or whatever, and they just gave us a full refund on both chairs and was like, "Keep it." Like, what am I supposed to do with a chair that you can't put together? And so I took the parts and I brought them to my cabinet guy and I was like, "Hey, can you just make me some more of these parts identical to these parts?" So I've had those parts in my car for weeks now, and I finally went and did that. So hopefully that works out. The cabinet guy joked, and I was like, please don't do that." He joked that it's going to cost me more to have him make the parts than just buying a whole nother set on Amazon. So yeah, I'm going to refresh. Coach Beard is missing. Oh, that's weird. Why? Can anyone else see me or hear me? Hopefully it's just David having a problem. It would be nice if someone else would say hello. And because I'm just rambling on. Let's see, my mic is unmuted. I'm here, dude. Hopefully it refreshes. Um, Went home, had some fun time hanging out with my wife, chatting. Good to go. Thank you, Dylan. And good morning. Uh, Hanging out, talking, making plans, going over some stuff that happened at work. Took a couple work calls while I was home. Um, yeah. And then we went off and picked up the little kiddos. I had a full car because I had to get Bailey. And then I got Logan, which is our friend's kid who just started middle school. And then I got Brooklyn and her friend Marini. So it's like full car, took them home. It's goofy shenanigans the whole way home. Just a bunch of kids talking and laughing, having a good time. So that was fun. I enjoyed that. Finally heard back from my client who's been driving me a little nuts. And they kind of just, yeah, we're live, buddy. What's up? You back? You good? Um, but they just acted as if they weren't driving me nuts, and it was just like talking like it's just another week. So I don't know what's going on with them. Maybe they were out of town. Maybe they had a really busy week. Who knows? Um, just wish people would respond quicker and more efficiently instead of just like leaving me in the dark. Bentley had soccer yesterday, soccer practice. That was cool. Super hot, but thankfully the school playground that we were playing at, they had solar panels over the grass fields. So most of the practice and definitely where the parents sat was in the shade. So that was dope. And then we met a woman from Facebook Marketplace in a McDonald's parking lot to sell some extra concert tickets my wife bought. So as I told you guys, my wife likes concerts. She wanted to get some VIP tickets to this Daisy Fields or Daisy Chains. It's like a festival of people that her and the girls love. She couldn't get VIP when they dropped, so she got on the wait list and then she got 3 general admission, and then she got the wait list popped and she got the 3 VIP. So we had double the tickets. So she put the general admissions on Facebook Marketplace. She's been going back and forth with tons of people. She was super worried that she was going to get scammed or robbed or kidnapped or something. So she asked me to go with her. My daughters are into Casey Musgraves. Nice. Your wife has weird internet friends that she meets. Yeah, right? Isn't that weird? So strange. So she made me come with her. She was like, "Do you know how to verify if $100 bill is real?" I'm just like, "Honey, calm down. People on the internet aren't as shady as you think." And she was just meeting another woman. Like, she didn't bring protection as far as we knew, but it's kind of funny. Uh, so yeah, got that done. That tab closed in my wife's brain, having the double tickets and wanting to get some money back. And yeah, Brooklyn had dance class last night, super late. The kids are crazy. Brooklyn's got dance class 8:30 to 9:30 last night, tonight, and tomorrow night. and then some more classes on the weekend. So she's in dance team now, and it's intense. Dee Dee saying, "Have your spouse's back." Yeah, exactly. That's what I did. Had my spouse's back. What else? What else? What else? Forgot to charge my car last night, so I got to go after this and before work and supercharge it. So that's fun. And is it Canon Day? So if you're a avid follower like I am of the V Friends comics and you listen to the podcast, go check them out. It's on YouTube or Spotify or wherever. Support those fools. So far, so good. Good morning, Mr. MP, walking Disneyland, Disney World. How's it been, man? How are the kids liking it? Is this baby girl's first time at Disney World? Is she just like just information overload, never wants to leave, then just randomly has a scream fit because she's been walking for too long? By the way, I'm talking about your daughter, not your wife. So just want to make sure that was clear. Um, and then also big news, not big news, but just a big reminder that we are T minus 3 days. So Friday until Caitlin, our good friend, cease the game. Caitlin is due. Her due date is Friday to have a baby girl waffles. So give her a little shout out, give her a little love on the timeline, and Instagram, messages, whatever. Just let her know. Got your the daily dad's got your back. Um, hope everything goes well. That she doesn't go into one of those 2-day labor situations, or that it is not, delayed and behind schedule, whatever, like whatever can happen with no complications, none of that stuff. She's stressing out like crazy, as most new moms would be, but also her job. They did not do well in planning and getting a proper sub and training that sub and all that stuff. So she's like, it's going to be a shit show. She and I have exchanged some messages. So good luck. We're here for you. Always in our thoughts. All that stuff. Can't wait for baby girl waffles to enter the world, and for Caitlin and her husband to reach that parent level. They're there. They're in it. So what's up, Mr. Jordan? How you doing, buddy? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So yeah, let's get to this old reading. This old reading. Page a day in the book, The Daily Dad. If you know it, you love it. If you don't have it, what the fuck are you doing here? Get the book, read the book. Hit up Blaze if you just want a free Audible copy. Dude's got Audible credits like no other. Um, yeah, for sure. Caitlin's got this. Uh, so that's what we do here. We read the page of the day early as we possibly can in the morning. Some people do it the night before. And we talk about it. Come here and talk about it. I'll give you my take on it, which is just shenanigans, because I am very poor at reading comprehension. Like sometimes this stuff just blows right by me. I put it in chat GPT. I'm like, oh, okay, you help me understand a little better. I have chat treat me like I'm five, and works to my advantage sometimes. But this one, it's like kind of an obvious one, right? We should always have their back. Tells a story of Winston Churchill and his son Randolph. That is a crazy word, a crazy name. When was the last time you heard a Randolph in your life? I don't think I've ever met a Randolph. Not even like a Randy. Can't think of a single Randy out there. I had a cabinet guy I worked with one time was Randy. Sidetrack. Anyways, Winston Churchill, son Randolph. Randolph was, I don't know, in politics somehow, some way. Made a proposal to something. The other person in the story kind of shot him down, talked smack about him, whatever, and then, went to shake Papa Winston's hand, and he was like, "You're dead to me. You insulted my son. We are no longer friends. You are my enemy." And so obviously, like that was pretty harsh. Like you don't need to go that far. You could, but yeah. And it goes on to say, like, Winston was doing something for his son that his dad never did for him. And so, going along with the theme of what we're doing here, what the book does is we're really trying to take stock of the things that we missed in our childhood from our parents and the things that we got, loved, and gained from them. And just kind of trying to filter it out through all of our new information, what we liked, what we didn't like, what helped us, what didn't help us, and then trying to improve on our family's lineage by giving our kids a better, more slightly upgraded version of parenting. And that's what Winston did for his son. Had his back, supported him, fought, stood up for him, fought for him when needed. Obviously, you don't want to be stepping in and fighting all of your kids' battles and being a, they call it a snowplow parent, just plowing everything out of the way. But when it comes to it, and you're in those situations, you stand up for your kids and say, "No, that wasn't right. Don't treat my kids that way. We're not cool anymore." Mm. So I like the reading. How often this would come up, I don't know. Like, how often would you be in the face to face? I was trying to reflect on where this comes up with my kids. And I think a lot of what came back to me was the difference between, like, supporting them fully without any, like, pushback or judgment. Like, a lot of the times my kids come to me or come to me and my wife and they're like, "Yeah, this person did this and this person did this, and so we're not friends anymore." Or, like I told you guys before, like, Brooklyn, has all these ops or oppositions, as the kids say these days. And part of me is like, "Girl, if everybody becomes your op, at what point are you not sitting there alone at school and thinking to yourself, 'Hmm, maybe it was me. Maybe I should chill out. Maybe I shouldn't be so sensitive or, quick to judge people in what they're saying or how they're acting.'" Like, I think there was one person that, like, bumped her shoulder or something like that. And so she was like, "Yeah, that girl." And I'm like, "Hold on. You're in a school filled with kids. You can't, like, walk the halls and not accidentally bump their shoulder." I mean, granted, if it's every day, same girl, same situation, okay, I can understand that. But what maybe do you think that maybe you might have done? Or how could you, you know, have a conversation with that girl to maybe figure out if there is something deeper behind it? Like, well, oh no, dad, no, she's an op. Okay, all right, girl. um, Talking with Brooklyn can be very difficult because she gets very intense very fast. And I know exactly where she got that from. And it's not fun. That's that whole thing that we've talked about many times about kids are like a mirror. So when when I or my wife try to have these conversations and she gets intense, I'm like, damn, you can't fight with a better version of yourself. And that's usually what kids are. Tis the season, kids in school have a BF one week and then they're an op. Yeah. Yep. For sure. That is definitely my middle child. My fantastic, wonderful little middle child. The other day, there was a journal prompt that was like, you guys remember, it was like 2 days ago, 3 days ago. It was like, what are some things that you're proud of or that you admire in your kids? And I read like what I wrote, a couple of things. I clipped that into like the Brooklyn version and I sent it to her and she goes, "Dad, you're blowing me up. You're blowing up my spot, letting people know. Stop it." Like, I didn't put it on Instagram. Like, none of our friends. It's just you guys. It's just my internet pals. Yeah, man. I know. I know. I'm really interested to see what 16 hits for her. I really am. My son saved my life this morning. Okay. Mm. Yep. This scenario. Yeah. He wanted to play for 2 minutes before I left. I just passed a bad accident. That just happened 2 minutes ago. Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? I had one of these situations happen like a couple weeks ago. One of our friends is a truck driver, so he gets up early in the morning, and he had a very similar situation where he was driving, or he had just gotten to the truck depot and picked up his truck, and had he been a couple minutes earlier, uh, he could have been in the truck that got into a horrible accident. And we were reflecting on that. It like hit him very deeply, and he was like, keeps taking a minute. Um, and I said very similar thing. I'm like, yeah, it's wild to think that if you would have got out on time, or got out a little faster or a little slower, that like you, because we all kind of run into those situations, and that's just how random and fickle life truly is. So, going a little bit into the conversation I had with Profi yesterday is like, he's been wrestling over this decision with, not wrestling, but let's say he's just been thinking about it a lot, to get a VF1 or to go to New York Comic Con. And I think he had mentioned our good friend Australian Nate mentioned a third option. Like, don't spend that money on that stuff, and instead take your family on a vacation or go somewhere fun. And I liked that idea. I didn't see it, but I liked that idea. And I doubled down on that. I'm like, yeah, dude, go on more trips, have more experiences. You never know when you're gonna be 2 minutes earlier and be in that accident. I've had that experience. I was late for a flight, missed it, and found out on the news it made a messy emergency landing. Yeah, it's wild. I think about that all the time. Not all the time, but, like, when you're on the road enough and you see those big those c you get your the freeway just locks down and you're like, "God dang it," like, now I'm in all this traffic. It's gonna take me longer. This sucks. But then as you get past it, you're like, "Shoot, that was just, like, 5 minutes ago. Had I woken up earlier, had I not peed before I left, had I, you know, driven a little faster or anything like that." So it's wild to think about. And again, why we kinda circle back to focusing more on our loved ones, right? Focusing more on our loved ones. Why we have a whole month in December in the book that gets a little dark. Um, we're talking about death, talking about mortality, talking about really appreciating life, all that kind of stuff. That's what all this is for. Yeah, yeah. I had mentioned again to my conversation with Brian. It was a really good one yesterday, man. We should have recorded that thing. But that one of the things that I've noticed is that I'm taking a lot more time away from work to be at home with the family, with the wife, everything like that. And I'm finding that I can still be efficient and effective at work in the few hours. And most importantly, I'm getting to spend a lot more time with my wife and kids, especially my kids as they're in these young ages. And it's just become very apparent that it's very important to me. And I think, in a sense, strengthening those relationships is elevating my life, happiness, my stress levels, all that kind of stuff, to the point where work hasn't really suffered that much, um, with me being here less. And that's something that I'm passing on to my across the office friend, Scott, because he was definitely in the camp, which I was too, but working a lot, like working a lot of those hours. And that's one of the things that he's talked to me about and thanked me about. He's like, "Look, man, you like really helped me realize, that it's okay. It's okay to not work. It's okay to not take every call at every hour. It's okay to not work 8 to 5 just because that's the hours of our industry. It's okay to take the time in the middle of the day and go grab lunch and with a wife, or take the kids to school and pick them up from school. For him, I think he took like a 3-hour lunch the other day, and they went out on a boat and went fishing in the middle of the day. I'm like, all right, dude, that's a lot. I'm not talking about that. But yeah, it's good to think like that. It's good to prioritize that, and especially when you have these situations where end of life, death, all that kind of stuff comes into play. We've had a couple of those this week. Talked to Chels about her dad passing. Talked to Jay yesterday about his dad passing away. And these reminders, they're not fun, but they really make you think. They really make you take stock. So thanks, Tom. I'm glad that didn't happen. You know, thankful for your son always wanting to play and have a little bit more dad time before he leaves. So good on that situation for sure. All right. What else? What else? What else? What else? Oh, guys, just another weird gripe about this journal. I love the Ryan Holiday stuff. I love the journal. How does today's reading about having their back, about the Winston Churchill story, about all this stuff that we talked about? This is the prompt. Okay. August 19th. August 19th. So I triple checked the date. The prompt question is, what's something they've, meaning our kids, taught you recently? How does that line up with the reading? Like, what is happening? And then yesterday's was even like the same thing. So yesterday's with Jay, we were talking about you are the toy, right? Like, so they want to play, but they really just want to play with you. Um, the question in the journal yesterday was, what's your best parenting advice? Like, I'm not making this stuff up. It's in the journal. Sometimes I just don't understand. Um, so get the journal, don't get the journal. I don't know. Sometimes I think about getting the journal for other people, but then I'm like, this journal's weird. I don't even like it. I'm back on my bike riding to my call in 3 minutes. Raka Kashma. David, you're hilarious. Uh, but thank you for joining me. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for talking to me. Appreciate you as always. And one last little line today, stoic lesson for the day. Kind of fits in the reading. It kind of does. Um, what, and this was actually the question from the journal I just wrote. What inessential things can I eliminate from my life? So this stoic lesson for the day was about prioritizing what you spend your time on, what takes up your mental space, and realizing that, you can really distill it down to just the bare minimum things, like being a good, father, wife, husband, mother, maintaining those relationships that you truly value and truly care about you and that are reciprocal. Like that's been my thing. My thing has been, I value relationships and people very much and connection, but my thing is it has to be to some degree reciprocal. I've always had a problem, A, saying that word, but B, with friends that I connect with, and that at some point I realize that I'm investing way more time in the relationship than they are, that I'm the first one to call or text or whatever. And so I've had that problem in my past with past friends, and now I'm a little bit more mindful of it. And then also those people in my life that have been too negative or too toxic, those definitely get the boot way faster. Um, so that's my take on it. I think it kind of also goes into what other inessential things for me? It's stuff like politics and sports and religion and all these kind of things that are polarizing or that I feel that I don't need them in my life because my life has enough in it already with my wife, my kids, my friends, you guys, the show, work, working out, trying to stay healthy, all that kind of growing a beard. This is exhausting work, guys. I literally sit here for 20 minutes a day and just think about growing hair out of my chin. I will it out. I'm just kidding. That was another reference to a Brian and Dom conversation. We were talking about his mustache and Corso's mustache. So, anyways, gentlemen, ladies, whoever's listening, thank you very much. Did any of you realize this was another thing I wanted to bring up? No one's even here, but did any of you realize that the title screen in today's episode was different? I'll leave you with that as I play it out. It's different. Ryan Turner finally sent me the Canva link after years and years and years. We're talking like decades of me asking him for it. He finally sent it to me. I don't do Canva. So I just changed a couple of things and then I realized how off it is from the OG title screen. So I've spent the last like 15 minutes playing with it and god dang it, do I hate this stuff. I really do. Makes me feel old. But anyways, here it is. You'll see it. You'll see the differences if you pay attention. But I'll see you guys tomorrow. Love you all. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for vibing with me. Find me on X and Twitter and Instagram later, and let's chat more. If not, we'll just chat tomorrow. Later, people.
What's up, bitches? What's up? Wake up. It's the morning time.